Hello beer tubers and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the master of Hoppets, today joined by
Brett
of NMICs. Today checking out some more beer that we got from Beerdome a while back. Earlier this year, like early spring. So this was a release that we were quite excited about because it's a collaboration between a brewery in the States that we really adore and a brewery here in Europe that also makes some nice beers. But it's because we got really hyped about Horus. And this is a collab, two collabs between Sori Brewing and Horus.
Hype Bros.
Yeah, we're hype bros. I mean, we had some of the Horus stuff and we fucking loved it. So as soon as we saw this, we were like, yep, let's get it. Yeah. And Sori also makes some nice beers. It's just been a long time since I had some of their stuff. But this is Sori Brewing and Horus Harrier's Dive. The Tawny port wine and Wild Turkey bourbon barrel aged edition. Both are Imperial Stouts. They're on 11.5 and 13%. Reason being, this is, port wine barrels. It's not as high in alcohol as a bourbon. The idea is to just make, it says here on both of them, it's like strong and majestic Imperial Stouts. And then one is with barrel presence of bourbon. The other is barrel presence of Tawny port. It's been a long time since I've had a Tawny port barrel aged or port barrel aged beer in general. That can be really nice. Yeah. I think maybe port would be pretty dope for sours.
Yeah.
Quite interesting. Just like the one we had.
With the right base.
Yeah. I mean the one we had from Jester King where it was just like a bacteria that was in a port barrel or whatever.
Yeah.
Was very interesting. But I think we should start with the port maybe.
Yes.
Because it's just a little less strong.
I think so.
In terms of ABV. So.
Same.
See.
Well, the head is maybe a bit darker on the.
I don't know what's going on with my glasses. I can't create any head. Look, it just pancakes away.
Yeah, that's weird. Mine are okay, but
maybe my glasses need a drop of soap now. After I don't know. They're all rinsed with water between the previous beers.
Yeah.
Odd.
Yeah.
But I mean, it looks like an Imperial Stout. Slight kind of bright reddish tone in the bottom. Otherwise, it's black. Maybe slightly chestnutty.
Yeah, in the bottom.
And the head on yours at least looks nice.
Yeah.
It's like fluffy creamy head. Let's hear the aroma.
There's a lot of vanilla, cherry,
lot of port.
wine.
I think there's a lot of like licorice and basset wine gum and like.
Oh yeah.
Those kind of like dark fruity English like. It almost smells like a classic British Imperial Stout actually because of the Tawny port barrel.
Yeah, but I'm also getting a lot of like cherry candy wine gum-esque.
Yeah, like for me, like basset wine gums really. Blackcurrant wine gum.
Yeah. But I also get some vanilla.
Yeah, vanilla as well, and like that kind of dried fruit you often get in Tawny port. And then also a little bit of like a sweeter, caramelized kind of thing. But
yeah, but it's very dark fruity.
Yeah, hugely dark fruity. And I think that might be putting some people off, but not for me. But
I think it smells very nice. It has very nice notes of dark fruity stuff.
Totally different from any other Horus beer.
Also.
Yeah, totally different from any other Horus Stout we've had.
Yeah.
Let's try it. Cheers, and thanks to Beerdome.
Cheers.
Kind of thin. Huge port flavor though.
Yeah.
Woo. Which is actually quite nice.
Yeah.
I think the flavor on the beer is really good, but the body is really lacking.
Yeah, the flavor is actually pretty good.
This is a green
It's actually quite big.
Very port-like, very like vinous and dry. Like there's a bit of a cigar-y tobacco thing. There's
absolutely. I was just about to say.
There's the dark fruit again, like the blackcurrant thing. There's a bit of licorice, very dry aftertaste too. Yeah, I think it's quite nice.
Yeah, it's like a cigar pipe tobacco, slightly nutty aftertaste.
Yeah. It's nice. A little bit of sweetness, not a lot, and I think with the Tawny port it shouldn't be too sweet either. There's some roastiness to balance it out.
It's definitely tannic.
Yeah,
structure to it.
I much prefer this than what we just had. In terms of,
but a lot of licorice, like that licoricey.
I don't mind
wine gum-esque.
It's a bit old school. It's a bit almost like British, but I don't mind at all.
I think it is very British actually.
It's totally different for a Horus beer that I
Yeah.
But let's try and move on to the Wild Turkey Bourbon Edition. I love these labels, by the way. They look amazing with the
glowing glitter-esque. Yeah.
But yeah, let's try and jump on to this one. So, Color on this one is pretty much the same. I can't see
Maybe
in terms of head.
It's
a bit darker head.
Yeah.
It's probably because the barrel is a bit more charred. But again,
so.
the head pancakes in my glass.
This should be quite different from the other one. But let's see.
Well, let's check out the aroma.
Much different.
It is. It's.
Wow.
I actually think I prefer the aroma on the Tawny Port more. For me, there's a sharp, almost like apple-y thing on this one.
Apple-y?
Yeah, or like something like that.
Yeah, I see it's sharp.
I think maybe it's acetaldehyde.
Hmm.
Like there is in some Belgian beers, because it's like this, like
I'm
green
getting
apple.
a bit of like a phenolic.
There's that too, but there's definitely, for me, there's a little bit of like, it reminds me a bit of green apple.
I'm also getting
almost like a flavor that reminds me a bit of Shubrovka, the bison grass vodka. Like a little bit, like a really apple-y.
Yeah.
Like, because when you mix that with like apple juice, it's almost like apple pie.
Yeah.
There's something. I think it's not the usual sweet fudgy bourbon thing you get.
No, but I was about to say I think it has like a cacao-esque thing about it.
I don't know. I think it's got the
cacao,
same kind of
like cocoa powder or something.
I think it's got a lot of that kind of dark fruit too as the other one. I just think on the aroma, the Tawny just suits it more than the.
I just
the
think
bourbon.
this smells more. This is much more fruity to me.
Yeah, this is a bit more oomphy, but I don't know. I just
This
feel
smells
like
more dry and
it's more powerful in terms of spirit character.
woody and yeah.
But it's not the same kind of bourbon character you're used to. That's for sure.
No, it doesn't smell like a super fresh bourbon barrel. At least I don't know, but it just doesn't smell like
it. Could also
it.
just be the base. It has that almost Shubrovka apple bison grass for me, almost like cinnamon.
Yeah, I think that's it. But I've seen people saying that.
Oh, but the fun thing is though, like the bison grass, it's Shubrovka. It's kind of like cinnamon, but it has its own kind of unique taste, and I think it tastes a bit like that. That's why I'm thinking maybe it's a bit of acetaldehyde, because acetaldehyde is like is quite appley, and it's got the same kind of flavor you get in acetaldehyde, for me. But then with a bit of like an appley, with the cinnamony thing. Yeah, but definitely more vanilla on this one, and it's more like a bit more of a charry wood character.
Yeah, it definitely has more of it, like a woody, charry, slightly to me like dark chocolatey thing, but then also this spicy, slightly cinnamon-esque thing.
I much prefer the Tawny of the two.
Do you?
Much prefer it. I prefer that dry, dark fruity with this kind of base beer much more. I think it suits it. This is also a bit more alcoholic. It's a bit more warming. I feel like for bourbon, it needs to be a thicker, sludgier beer because bourbon is sweet.
It's pretty far from the very best bourbon barrel.
Yeah, but with the Tawny barrel, I think it's actually a nice beer. Not like mind-blowingly great, but a nice drinking barrel-aged stout that was very affordable. Yeah. I think they were like €8 or something, right?
Yeah, they weren't
too expensive. Yeah, 100% my favorite of the two. I don't think anyone agrees with it. But.
I think it's tough because they are so different, but
this one is a bit brighter too. The bourbon. I don't like the bourbon too much actually, to be honest.
But this is
the more I drink it, the less I like the bourbon. It's like
spicy, but it has like a spice thing to it, much more than this one.
See what they say about the flavor in this one. They say themselves. Dark and milk chocolate infused with caramel and vanilla notes from the barrel. Slightly roasty.
I agree with that dark chocolate roasty thing, but it's also very woody and has this bison grass-esque spice cinnamon thing. That's it. Yeah, it's hard to really put your finger on what it is.
Ripe berry notes on this one. I don't know about ripe berry. It's more like aged berry or just like dry berry. It's like more like what you find in a Tawny. Man, the head on my beers are totally pancaked. I think my glasses need some.
I think this is really hard actually because I'm not really enjoying either of them a lot.
I'm not like enjoying like a crazy amount, but I just totally think this one suits it. And to be honest, I don't like the bourbon version that much at all.
No.
I think it's a bit weird with that kind of almost bison grassy, appley.
Yeah, and almost like a nutmeg-esque.
Maybe, actually, I can kind of see that.
Yeah.
It just tastes so much like acetaldehyde.
Yeah,
It just
maybe
reminds
it is.
me of that.
Maybe it is.
Like, usually green apple flavor in beer, if it's not added, it's acetaldehyde. And acetaldehyde is going to give you
it's tart?
a little bit. Both are slightly tart. Yeah. But they're not like sour. No. I don't think there's any infection or anything. I just think it's a high amount of acetaldehyde. Sometimes you can get a red apple flavor that isn't acetaldehyde in beers, which is kind of like a mixture of esters and a bit of phenolic too, I think. But in general speaking, especially green apple flavor is acetaldehyde, and I think that might be it in there for me.
Yeah.
Well, not for me. I think it might be.
Well, yeah, I don't know
just really
as much about acetaldehyde as you do, but yeah,
it could also just be an interesting flavor from the wild turkey barrel, depending on the age of the barrel.
Yeah.
Because you also sometimes get appley flavors in bourbon.
Yeah. You can get all kinds of stuff. Also, like salty notes, and yeah.
Perplexing beers, but yeah. Favorite for me is the Tawny Port. Ratings, I think I'll go 89 on the Tawny Port, and then 80. Probably a straight 80 on the bourbon. I don't really like it.
No.
I think it's really weird. That like really appley thing is just not for me. Whereas this is actually close, maybe on a good day, a 90 actually. But I just feel like this is. I don't even like smelling it too much.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Yeah. To me, what struck me up front was that, the more like woody and spicy thing about this one rather than the fruity wine gum thing over here.
I just think the base beer suits this barrel better.
Yeah. Wow, this is really hard actually. I think both of them really lack, not really, but I think both of them lack body. Yeah. But I like the flavors somewhat.
They really lack body, yeah.
I'll probably go 88 on this one and 89 on this one. I see that I'll probably want to drink this one more, in the long run.
I just really don't like the bourbon version.
No.
Just smelling it puts me off a bit.
Yeah. I don't think it's too bad.
Maybe 80 is too high then. I don't know.
Yeah, if it puts you off, it's definitely too high. Because it doesn't put me off, but I see what you're talking about. It has like a green apple-esque thing.
Okay, maybe it doesn't put me off, but it's not something I'm really enticed into drinking. I think that maybe... I mean, the highest is definitely an 80. Yeah. I max give this one like a 325, I think. Maybe 3.5 on a good day. Yeah. This is thinking the Tawny is like 375. Yeah.
I was thinking 375 for both, maybe with a slight edge on this one. But yeah, it's
I mean, it's far off from what Horus is known for doing. These like crazy thick, long boiled, adjunct heavy stouts. The stuff we've had has been really nice. I don't think I've had a Horus stout that I thought was like.
And we haven't had the barrel aged.
No. So we can't really compare to that. No. But it's also been a long time since I've had a Sori beer, so I can't really compare to any barrel aged Sori beer. But yeah, I definitely think for sure the winner is the Tawny, and it seems like you agree.
Yeah, so. I slightly agree.
Yeah. So if you guys had a chance to try the Sori and Horus Harrier's Dive variants, let us know what you thought of them. Thanks a ton to Beerdome for the beers. Link for the shop is down below. And as always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page, and Twitter, and Instagram. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And we're going to say cheers in the Tawny Port version.
Cheers.
And see you guys in another video.